Understanding GMOs, a simple introduction. Life is encoded by DNA. This blueprint dictates characteristics of every organism. Humans have manipulated this code through selective breeding. Now we can make precise changes in a lab. This is genetic modification, creating GMOs. GMOs have altered genetic makeup. Typically, a gene with a desirable trait is inserted. For example, a bacterium gene can make a crop pest-resistant. This reduces the need for chemical pesticides. GMOs are used in agriculture and medicine. They produce life-saving drugs like insulin. GMOs showcase human ingenuity, but are controversial.
To understand GMOs, we need to grasp the basics of genetic modification. It all starts with DNA, the molecule that carries the genetic instructions for every living organism. Picture DNA as a long, twisted ladder, with each rung made up of pairs of chemical building blocks called nucleotides. The sequence of these nucleotides determines the genetic code. Genetic modification involves altering this sequence by inserting, deleting, or modifying specific genes. Genes are like blueprints that provide instructions for building proteins, the workhorses of the cell. By altering these blueprints, scientists can change the characteristics of an organism. One common method of genetic modification is called gene transfer. This involves taking a gene from one organism and inserting it into the DNA of another. For example, to make a crop plant resistant to a particular insect, scientists might insert a gene from a bacterium that produces a natural insecticide. The process of creating a GMO involves several steps.
Since the dawn of agriculture, humans have strived to improve crop yields and enhance the nutritional value of food. GMOs represent a significant leap forward in this endeavor, offering a powerful tool to address challenges in food production and global food security. One of the main applications of GMOs in agriculture is pest resistance. By introducing genes that make crops resistant to insects, farmers can reduce their reliance on chemical pesticides. This benefits not only the environment but also human health, as pesticide exposure has been linked to various health problems. GMOs can also enhance crop tolerance to herbicides, making weed control more effective. This allows farmers to use less herbicide, reducing the impact on biodiversity and potentially lowering the costs of food production. Beyond pest and weed control, GMOs can improve the nutritional content of crops. For instance, golden rice, a genetically modified variety of rice, has been engineered to produce beta-carotene, a precursor to vitamin A. While GMOs hold immense promise for improving agriculture, it's important to acknowledge the ongoing debate surrounding their use.
The introduction of GMOs into our food supply has sparked widespread debate, with safety concerns at the forefront of public concern. Critics argue that altering the genetic makeup of organisms could have unforeseen and potentially harmful consequences for human health and the environment. One concern is the potential for allergenicity. Introducing a gene from a known allergen, such as nuts or shellfish, into a crop plant could trigger allergic reactions in susceptible individuals. Rigorous testing and labeling regulations are essential to mitigate this risk. Another concern is the possibility of gene flow, where genes from GMOs could transfer to wild relatives or other organisms in the environment. This could lead to the spread of herbicide resistance to weeds, creating superweeds that are difficult to control. The long-term health effects of consuming GMOs are also a subject of debate. Public perception of GMOs varies widely, influenced by factors such as cultural background, personal values, and trust in regulatory agencies.
Environmental impact, a balancing act. The environmental impact of GMOs is a complex issue with both potential benefits and risks. Proponents argue that GMOs can contribute to sustainable agriculture by reducing the need for pesticides and herbicides, conserving water, and decreasing greenhouse gas emissions. For example, herbicide-tolerant crops allow farmers to practice no-till farming, a method that reduces soil erosion and water pollution. Pest-resistant crops can minimize the need for insecticide applications, protecting beneficial insects and reducing the environmental impact of pesticide production and use. However, critics raise concerns about the potential for GMOs to negatively impact biodiversity. The widespread adoption of herbicide-tolerant crops could lead to the overuse of herbicides, harming non-target plants and disrupting ecosystems. Gene flow from GMOs to wild relatives is another concern. Careful monitoring, risk assessment, and responsible use are essential to mitigate potential risks and maximize the environmental benefits of GMOs.
The debate surrounding GMOs is complex, with a wide range of perspectives and opinions.
Farmers view GMOs as a way to increase yields and reduce input costs.
Consumers may have concerns about safety, labeling, and long-term health effects.
Policymakers balance GMO benefits with public concerns and environmental risks.
Future possibilities addressing global challenges. As biotechnology continues to advance, the future of GMOs holds both promise and uncertainty. Researchers are exploring new applications for GMOs that could address some of the world's most pressing challenges, from climate change to food security to disease. One area of active research is the development of crops that are more resilient to climate change. Scientists are working to engineer crops that can withstand drought, floods, and extreme temperatures, helping to ensure food production in a changing climate. GMOs are also being explored for their potential to improve human health. Researchers are investigating the use of genetically modified plants to produce edible vaccines and other pharmaceuticals. In the field of environmental remediation, GMOs are being developed to clean up pollution and restore degraded ecosystems. While the future of GMOs is full of possibilities, it's important to proceed with caution, carefully considering the ethical, social, and environmental implications of these powerful technologies.
GMOs in the developing world. The potential benefits and risks of GMOs are particularly significant for developing countries, where food security, malnutrition, and poverty are pressing concerns. GMOs offer the promise of increased crop yields, enhanced nutritional content, and reduced reliance on expensive and environmentally damaging agricultural inputs. For example, drought-tolerant GMOs could be a lifeline for farmers in arid and semi-arid regions, allowing them to grow crops in harsh conditions and improve their livelihoods. Insect-resistant GMOs could reduce crop losses to pests, increasing food availability and reducing the need for costly pesticides. However, there are concerns that the introduction of GMOs in developing countries could exacerbate existing inequalities and create new dependencies on multinational corporations. Empowering farmers with knowledge, resources, and decision-making power is essential for ensuring that GMOs benefit those who need them most.
Ethical considerations and consumer choice. The use of GMOs raises a number of ethical considerations that warrant careful examination. One key issue is informed consent. Consumers have the right to know whether the food they are purchasing contains GMOs and to make informed choices about what they eat. Clear and consistent labeling regulations are essential for ensuring consumer transparency and choice.
Another ethical concern is the potential impact of GMOs on animal welfare. Genetically modifying animals for food production, such as fast-growing salmon or disease-resistant chickens, raises questions about the ethical treatment of animals and the potential for unintended consequences. The patenting of life is another contentious issue. Open dialogue, public engagement, and ongoing ethical reflection are essential for navigating these complex issues and ensuring that the use of GMOs aligns with our shared values.
Conclusion. Weighing the benefits and risks. GMOs represent a powerful tool with the potential to address some of the world's most pressing challenges, from food security to climate change to disease. However, the use of GMOs also raises legitimate concerns about potential risks to human health, the environment, and social justice. The debate surrounding GMOs is complex and often polarized, with strong opinions on both sides. It's essential to approach this issue with nuance, acknowledging both the potential benefits and risks of GMOs. Evidence-based decision-making, transparency, and open dialogue are crucial for navigating the complexities of GMOs. We need to invest in research to better understand the long-term effects of GMOs develop robust regulatory frameworks, and ensure that the use of GMOs aligns with our shared values. By engaging in informed and respectful dialogue, we can work towards a future where GMOs are used responsibly and ethically to benefit all of humanity.